When I started thinking about this play and about my mannerisms and the physicality of Hosanna, the voice, everything else, and one line that always stood out to me in Hosanna is that I thought I was beautiful. And so for me, it was something that I wanted to try to make myself as beautiful as I possibly could. As slowly as I've been able to put her on, maybe it'll be a slow kind of fading of her, but I think she'll always be with me.
The reason why Richard attracted me really was that I could transform physically, because I believe that acting is about transformation. The language didn't frighten me. The thoughts, getting into Richard's brain is what really excited me. But the physicality, the transformation, that's what was going to be the real obstacle. Sometimes I can wear the makeup and I'll be going, I think I look okay. Julie, do I have everything on? I kind of look all right. And then I realize, yes, but I haven't actually changed how I see the world. So the makeup can be on, but unless I go and I actually think, how does Richard see the world? And then I change.
I'm Gareth Potter, and I'm in Hosanna this year by Michel Tremblay, and I am playing Hosanna / Claude Lemieux. When I started thinking about this play and about my mannerisms and the physicality of Hosanna, the voice, everything else, I know nothing about the world of drag queens, but it was definitely something that came from my imagination and Gareth's own gut feeling about how do I make myself feel beautiful? And so obviously there was a lot of physical involved, you know, the shaving of all the hair and the plucking of the eyebrows, and then, you know, later in the process, the makeup and what the makeup was like, and then what her movements were and what kind of quality she had with her voice, how she would attack, and there was also an attack to her physical language as well. There was definitely a difference when we went from just the rehearsal hall to the stage. As soon as we got on our feet to start blocking it, moving around the set, I put on a dress, high heels, and a wig. And they weren't great shoes, it wasn't a great dress, it wasn't a great wig, but it was something for me to start playing with, to start helping me find her physicality.
My name is Seana McKenna, and I am playing the title role in Richard III. Still makes me laugh to say that. Yes, I'm playing Richard III. It really wasn't about playing Richard as a woman. It was never the idea to play Richard as a woman. I felt that Richard was other. He was an outsider. He was a villain, but was already physically handicapped, deformed, as he would say, so that his body was already misshapen. It wasn't playing a virile young Hamlet. All the references to Richard are animal. It's animal imagery, or it's a foul lump of deformity. It's a thing. It's an animal. It's something I can't even describe. I need 4 adjectives to describe this thing. And so I just thought that my femaleness would add another element that would make the audience unsure of what exactly Richard is. And we do have fun with, you know, Richard's effeminate remorse when they say that line, or when they say, why, this is it when men are ruled by women. There's a huge laugh, which I'm not sure would be quite as huge if I was not a woman. So there is a slight wink to the audience, but we don't make a big fuss about it. It's just another, because Richard primarily is an actor. When people said, oh, how are you going to play him? I said, as an imposter. That's what he is. He pretends to be human or humane. He observes people, he watches them, he sees what they do, and he imitates it. I think he feels nothing.
There was a wow moment when I finally put on the dress, because normally here at Stratford, they make the clothes perfectly. Every stitch is perfect, and they spend so many hours on it. And getting to talk to the designer and the cutters, They put a lot of time into it, but it was hard for them to make it badly because it's supposed to be a dress that Hosanna made herself, that she worked on for this special night. And so, you know, some of the stitches were supposed to be crooked, and some of the marks were supposed to be, you know, very obvious that they were not crafted very well. So finally, when I got to put the dress on, it was something that I was able to look at myself in the mirror. And one of her first lines in the play is cheap and stupid, is what she calls herself. And so finally putting that costume on, it's like, right, that's why I'm cheap and stupid, because I thought I could pull it off, looking like I thought I was beautiful, but in reality I'm not.
The costume, that's another thing with Peter and I. We wanted, first of all, it was me improvising with how I wanted to move. You know, first thing you have to decide is if you are going to go with a hunchback, are you going to go with a withered arm? Are you going to go with a limp? And we went for the full meal deal. And our wonderful cutter, Joanna, designed a fabulous corset for me to wear. That is a corset that shoves everything down here, shifts the bumps to the hump, and then is laced at the back, but where my hunchback or my curved spine is on the back of this corset. I wanted to build up one side of my body to make it look more square, more masculine, so that my woman's arm would seem withered and small and shrunken by accentuating this one. So we padded this arm, and that is all attached to the corset. It's an amazing structure, which supplies me with my shape and also leaves me total mobility the waist down. So it gives me this kind of almost vulture-like look. It's almost like a bird of prey.
So there's a huge transformation that I've had to do for Hosanna. Physical, first thing, I got waxed in June. Only time I've ever been waxed, and the only time I think I will be waxed, unless somebody pays me a lot more money to do it again. It really hurt. And so now I shave once a week, which takes me forever. I use an electric shaver. I don't use a straight one because I don't want to get bumps and everything. But that takes quite a long time to shave my legs and everything. Fortunately, I don't have a hairy back, so I'm not trying to shave my back. I put on quite a bit of makeup before the show, and it takes me quite a while. So if I have an 8 o'clock show, I'm actually at work at 5:45. I have to do my warm-up, and I run through part of the play, working on the lines, the sheer amount of lines that are in the play. And then the makeup starts, and the makeup takes about 45 to 50 minutes, and I have somebody from the wigs makeup department are there with me working on that. And I have to do the base and the eyes, and obviously I can't do all my eyes, so the wigs and makeup person, Jessica, helps me put on my eyes. And it's great. We put on music, and we have a great old time, and I actually start to get into the Hosanna character, and I start, you know, talking with her, kind of becoming Hosanna. So I do get quite raunchy in the dressing room. And they've actually put me in the ladies' dressing room at the studio. I asked for that. I was like, I want to be put in the ladies' dressing room because I'm the biggest lady there this year, so.
The whole process from start to finish takes about 45 minutes to get ready for Richard, to get into costume, to put on makeup. I first go for a warm-up for an hour and a half before the showtime. At the hour, I have a fight rehearsal for 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And then we start. It takes about 45 to 50 minutes from start to finish. But I also have the amazing Julie Scott, who made this wig, and who puts on the bald pate, and who puts on the wig, and we are a team. I couldn't do it without her, and without my dresser, Helen. The costume, amazingly, I can put on in 8 minutes with Helen Basson helping me. So the bald pate is put on, makeup is blended up here, quite red with splotches, awful splotches, and then the hair falls over. So it's this quite alarming, I think, look. And then very little makeup, actually, I'm loath to say.
There's never a moment in the preparation where I say, now I'm Hosanna, because it is a real gradual building up of her, from the warming up, from the putting on the nail polish is a very It's the first thing that I do. So I'm in all my, shorts and t-shirt, and I put on this nail polish. It's the first step. And finally, when everything's on, I have about 5 minutes where I sit in the dressing room and I look at myself in the mirror, because there's a mirror in the play on stage that she uses a lot. So I get to sit in my dressing room for 5 minutes by myself with my tears. We put fake running mascara down her eyes to help with the image of the sadness she's going through. And so I sit in my dressing room, and that helps. Those 5 minutes are a very special time for me to look in the mirror and say, okay, now I'm getting into the heart of her pain, where she starts to play off. My Hosanna, when she looks in the mirror, she sees two things. She sees somebody that's beautiful, intelligent, witty, and the queen. And she also sees somebody who is trashy, cheap, stupid, disillusioned, and unloved. So it depends when she looks in the mirror and what she sees and what she chooses to see. And that's kind of what the crux of the play. And so these giant mirrors on the stage amplify what she sees in herself and when she sees it, and that constant struggle to keep that mask up of Hosanna.
The reason why Richard attracted me really was that I could transform physically, because I believe that acting is about transformation. The language didn't frighten me. The thoughts, getting into Richard's brain, is what really excited me. But the physicality, the transformation, that's what was going to be the real obstacle. And I think Miles and Peter and I, throughout this, came up with something that works for us. And that when people come up to me after the show, go, "You're really scary." I look in the mirror and I go, "I'm fine." And then I have to go, okay, where's Richard? And he's inside. In our production, his outside is like his inside. It's ugly.
I am gonna miss Hosanna when I'm done. It's gonna take me a while to shake her off. Not just the physical, everything that I've gone through physically, but the emotional ride that I've taken with her. It's definitely one of the biggest rides that I've taken here at Stratford, and I'm gonna miss her a lot. Of course, Richard Manette was the first person that did the English translation of this. Did amazing things for his career and for him as an actor, him as a person. He spoke very fondly of that play and what that play meant to him. And so much of who Richard was, there was a lot of Hosanna in there. So I don't know if he had completely shaken Hosanna off. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna probably drink some white wine or something like that and go dancing, or I don't know, and then take 14 showers and try to wash her off, or slowly. As slowly as I've been able to put her on, maybe it'll be a slow kind of fading of her. But I think she'll always be with me.
I think I will miss the role. I think I will be, my body will be grateful. It's tiring. And wielding a broadsword with one arm is no easy feat, even for a guy. But I will miss it. I know Julie and I were talking about it the other day, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to get weepy when this one's over." I already did. I was watching the fight from under the bleachers. She said, "Oh, I heard a man say right in the silence, 'Oh, he died so beautifully.'" And I thought, yes, that's the one beautiful thing Richard does in this production, die. But as an actor, you always sort of train yourself to get ready. It's like life. Nothing lasts, so you get ready to let it go. You're gearing yourself for this time when it will be over. But I'll miss it. I'll miss my dagger.